that you can play. There are some other ones. There's like a no laser one that I played recently, which is sort of like, it's like this. Where you've got like Phantom and Shade, I think it was the last 2 units. But I think it's just inferior to the regular Mutant Chuggy deck, which is this one here with the lasers. Yeah, there we go. So I'm not really sure what else to do. I'm gonna play this deck here because this is kind of the standard. This is the difference, really. This is what you can do with Mutant Chuggy. Either you can play no anti-infantry, infantry, or militants. I personally prefer militants. I think if you're really good at microing the Chuggy, you can play with the wheels. The advantage of the wheels is that you get your Chuggy out sooner, so you dominate barracks openings because you get to go like wheel, 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 Chuggy. The benefit of the militants is you open rifles, and then it's a stronger opening basically. Like it is just a stronger opening against anything except specifically like rifles into laser, which you get to go wheel Chuggy against. So yeah, we're gonna play this deck, and then I will attempt to build a second Mutant Chuggy, which we will talk about once we get to that point. Okay, so we are playing the classic Mutant Chuggy deck. This really has been the same deck forever, basically. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about the deck whilst I play this first game. Basically, you want to play Mutants and Chuggy because you're a Mutant Chuggy deck. So those 2 units are already locked in. You haven't got a choice about those. You have to play Mutants, you have to play Chuggy, or you're not a Mutant Chuggy deck. Now, you have to play either Phantom or Lasers in pretty much every Nod deck, or you're going to lose to air units. Like, for example, Laser Drones and Shades. If you don't have either Laser or Phantom, you're going to really struggle with Laser Drones and Shades. And Orcas. So you need to play those units in your deck pretty much every time. So that's like 3 slots taken up. Then you have to play either Wheels or Rifle, because you have to have an opening unit. So that's your 4th slot taken up. At that point, you've used 4 of the slots in your deck. Sorry, let me fight this missile quickly. So yeah, at that point you've used 4 of the slots in your deck. And then you still don't have the bikes and the stealth tank, right? So you've got 4 units. The wheels versus the militants, as I talked about at the start, is your own choice. Like either is fine. It just changes how the deck plays out slightly. But neither of them is right and neither of them is wrong. It's just a choice. Then you've got 2 slots left, and the only thing you have that shoots up is lasers or Phantom, right? So then you're going to need some more anti-air. Now, if you play Stealth Tank or Phantom, that gives you a great anti-air unit, but it's 100 cost. So you can't really rely on those as your cheap anti-air. You have to have something that can fight things like Talons and Drone Swarms in the early game. So that means you kind of have to play bikes. Like, bikes or buggy are the things that you're really locked into as a Nod player. You have to play either bikes or buggy to have early anti-air. So this deck has Chuggy. So you don't want to play buggy and Chuggy, really. That's kind of insane. So you end up playing bikes in this deck. So at that point, you've locked out 5 of your unit slots. So simply the nature of the Mutant Chuggy deck, by playing Mutants and Chuggies, you are then forced into also having like bikes and lasers and rifles or wheels. And that's basically your whole deck at this point. So then you have 1 slot left after that. And because you have Chuggy and Mutant, you already got a really good anti-tank and a really good anti-infantry unit. So your last unit should be a heavy anti-air unit. So that means your last unit is going to end up being either Stealth Tank or Phantom. Now you can do Phantom in this deck instead of Stealth Tank, just as you can do Wheels instead of Militant. But the way that Rivals deck building works, the way the theory works out, you really can't do a lot of other things apart from this. There's a few minor changes you can make, like this. This is about as much difference as you can make. But really, you're kind of locked into... Once you want to play Mutants and Chuggies, once you're committed to that, you're kind of locked into the other units. Just because of the way like, if you want to fight everything, you're kind of just locked into all the other units. Okay, so that's a little theory on the Mutant Chuggy deck. That's pretty much that's why the deck ends up the way it does. Because those are the things you need to be able to do, and you only have so many unit slots. Now let's talk about the commander a little bit, because I didn't talk about commander. You can play other commanders. You don't have to play Oksana. In fact, I think this is the kind of deck where you could play any commander you want. Oh, excuse me, I just need to deal with these wheels. Yeah, so you could play any commander. You could play Jade, Kayn, Oksana, or Seth. I think all of them would be okay choices in this deck. However, I think that Oksana is much better than the others. Like, in terms of power level, in combination with the units in your deck, you don't really need Kayn that badly. Oh, hello, it's a Chuggy mirror. Okay, so as I was saying, you don't really need Kayn because you've already got mutants. You've got a heavy anti-vehicle unit that should be able to beat most vehicles, including a lot of tech. You've got Chuggy, which is a tier 2 anti-vehicle. So again, you should have anti-infantry, tier 2 anti-infantry. Nice Jade missile, excellent stuff. So anyway, you've got a tier 2 anti-infantry and you've got a tier 2 anti-vehicle. So you've kind of got those things covered. So you don't really need to play like a tank or like a cat ship or whatever, because you've already got those things sorted. So it makes sense for your last unit to be a tier 2 anti-air. Oh, anyway, I got distracted. I was talking about commanders. Yeah, so you don't need Kayn because you've got the anti-vehicle unit already covered. You can play Jade. That's totally fine. Like, this guy's playing Jade in his Mutant Chuggy. But, I mean, this game, I think, will be a good testament to why Jade is not that good. Because if you watch the game, so far he's used Jade Missile once, and it missed. That's all that Jade Missile has done so far. I've used Oksana Boost once, I think, to kill those bites quickly and take the middle of the map. So we both used our Commander Power once. Mine won me the missile in the game. My opponent spent 80 and did nothing. So I'm not a huge fan of Jade. I talk about Jade a lot as well, and how I don't really like Jade. Because I think that in higher league play, Jade doesn't really do anything but base kill. And Chuggy is harder to get to the base, to blow up the base, than Chem Warrior is. So I think Jade is a lot worse with Chem Buggy than it is with Chem Warrior. So because I'm a Chuggy deck, I don't really want to play Jade either. If I'm going to play Jade, I'd rather be a Chem Warrior deck. So I don't want to be Jade and I don't really want to be Kayn. So then the only options left are Seth and Oksana. Now Seth is pretty good. It's pretty hard for Seth to be bad. He's always going to go and steal a pad at some point. It gives you some flamers. But again, you don't need flamers because you have Chemical Buggy. So you don't really need access to those flamers ever. You're really just playing Seth for the extra unit that you can pop out at near the end of the missile. Which is good, but it's not really a requirement. And the second thing to bear in mind is that with the Mutant Chuggy deck, what you want to do is make mutants and Chuggies and put them in the same location. Like, that's the dream. You make a mutant, you put it somewhere, you make a Chuggy, the Chuggy protects the mutant from infantry. That's the whole point of your deck. That's what you're trying to achieve. So, because that's what you're trying to achieve, you don't want Seth, because you don't want to play the deck on a map where the pads are spread out anyway. Like, you only want to play the deck on a map where you're going to get to fight in a single location the majority of the time. That's where Mutant Chuggy is the best deck. So, because you're playing the deck on maps where Seth isn't as good, there's no reason to play Seth. So you should play Oksana. Also, Oksana boosted Chuggy and Oksana boosted mutants are insane. And Stealth Tank is good with Oksana as well. So you have a lot of really good Oksana units. And you want to play the deck on a map where Seth isn't that good anyway. Because if you're playing on a Seth map, you should just play a more aggressive deck that doesn't want to play all in one location all the time. So that's why you end up playing Oksana, basically. And I think, generally speaking, pretty much every Mutant Chuggy deck plays Oksana, except for the guys who really want to play Jade. Like, some people really want to play Jade. If you want to base kill, like if you play against Tech every single game, then playing Jade for base kills is pretty reasonable. But otherwise, you just want to play Oksana. Like, Oksana is the best in this deck, and I think it's the best by quite a large margin. Okay. So, we talked about the deck theory. That's pretty much covers everything I was going to say about Mutant Chuggy, so now we're just going to go back to just playing the games. Alright, so we're getting Laser Drone Rush. Laser Drones are comically bad now. Like, it's actually laughable how bad Laser Drones are. I mean, look at this rush. This is such an embarrassing rush. It's such an embarrassing rush I'm building my Harvester. Like, I just have no fear of a Venom Laser Drone Rush anymore. It's just not a thing I'm scared of after Laser Drones got their nerf. Even if he gets on my Harv, I don't care, because they do so little damage to the Harvester. I'm going to retarget here. Just going to make another Laser Troop and kill this Venom. And then we kill the Laser Drones off. And as you can see, he's done. He hasn't even half killed it. I'm actually going to let these riflemen die, because they're almost dead anyway. And I'm just going to go straight into Chemical Buggy. I actually don't know if I have time to go straight into Chemical Buggy. I might have misplayed here. Yeah, this might be a misplay. Gonna get the Chemical Buggy. Yeah, we misplayed this one, boys. We misplayed this one big time. Alright, so I messed that up. Although I will say that he's no half, because there's no way he could have this many Venoms and laser drones and also go into rifles and build a harvester. Like, that doesn't... The math doesn't add up. So he is no half, I'm pretty sure. It's very hard to beat no half first missile. So that does happen quite a lot. But I definitely misplayed. I shouldn't have lost that missile. Okay, so we're gonna get some lasers. Gonna take out all of his air stuff. Chem Buggy over here. We want to charge the missile because, like, now he almost certainly has a harvester because he hasn't really been doing. He hasn't been sending out that many units for a while now, but he almost certainly has half now. So we're gonna win this missile easily because, you know, he spent money on harvester now and he's broke. And then I suspect I would not be overly surprised to go and see 2 harvesters up here. In fact, let's go and have a look. No, he's actually still no half. Oh my god, okay, fair enough. Well, if he's still no half, he can't win. No half is terrible against Chuggy. Chuggy is such a powerful unit for its cost. It's like fully impossible to beat Chuggy with no half. Or like almost impossible. Okay, we actually have so much money that I'm going to move the harvester onto the pad. Because if he goes after it, I don't want to have to waste time defending it. So I'm just going to move it towards the pads. Looks like the game's over, to be honest. No half falls off completely after first missile. It's really difficult to win with no half after first missile. Okay, so easy win there. And on to the last game. Enemy base destroyed. 3, 2, 1. New objective available. Alright, so last game. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do as a second Mutant Chuggy deck. I'll try and put something together. But as I was explaining throughout the first half of this video, the way that... Because once you play Mutants and Chuggies together, Nod really struggles with options. Because you only have... Because Nod is so bad versus early game air. Like, early game air is a nightmare for Nod. Nod is so limited on its options because it doesn't have Pitbull, basically. Like, because GDI has Pitbull, which can beat pretty much all air in the game if you play it properly. So because GDI has Pitbull, they have a lot more options available to them when it comes to doing other stuff. Because they can basically be like, okay, I've got a Pitbull and maybe some missiles, I can now beat all air in the game. Whereas Nod is like, Blights and Laser does not beat all air, like you need some other stuff as well. Alright, so now you're going to see why the boost is so goddamn good in this deck. Yeah, see you later, Flamers. See you later, my dudes. Lay me boys down. Let's get these bikes over here. Are these blazers even? And we want to get some mutants here, because that's the combo. We want to set up the mutants plus the Chuggy. And again, we can boost the mutants. Watch the mutants wreck these bikes as well. Yeah, see you later, bikes. You better run. And this is basically the aim of the deck. We want to do this. We want to make the mutants. We want to have the Chuggy protect them from flamers or whatever, militants, whatever the opponent makes to kill them. And then we just chill. I'm actually going to make another Chuggy. Normally I wouldn't make a second Chuggy, but I want to keep this one here. And I wanted to go kill the flamers up top. Ooh, Giga Cannon. Alright, now interestingly enough, mutants is actually a decent matchup against Giga Cannon because you can just do this. Like, they annihilate the Giga really quickly, and Giga actually doesn't kill them that quickly. Giga kills lasers really fast once it's charged up, but it doesn't kill mutants quickly. Mutants take a long time. It needs to get, like, max charge before it really kills mutants. This is actually, like, a perfect matchup for this deck. Opponent just playing, like, War Factory stuff, and an infantry unit that gets wrecked by Chuggy. This is, like, the ideal matchup. This is actually one of the big reasons Flamers and Shocks disappeared. Is because, firstly, they became bad versus militants, and secondly... Everyone just started playing things like Chuggy and Drone Swarm and Venom, and it just punishes them way too hard. Alright guys, there it is, 5 wins with the Mutant Chuggy. This video was really more about discussing the theory of the deck building. We will build a second one now, and we'll try that. So I'll probably edit out me sitting here looking at cards for ages. But we'll talk about a second Mutant Chuggy deck. But this is the main one. This is the best one. These are the variations. It's just like Wheels versus Militants and Phantom versus Stealth Tank. And I guess Jade versus Oksana, but you should just play Oksana. I think the deck is decent. It's not amazing at the moment because we have a very air-based metagame. And you really don't want to be playing this deck against air. Air is the biggest weakness for this deck. Like Infernos, Shades, Cat Ships now come out. Cat Ships are really good against this deck. So I think the deck is not super well positioned. But it's not terrible. It's okay. And it has some really good matchups. Like, it's really good against War Factory-based decks. But they've kind of disappeared a lot thanks to the air units that are dominating the metagame right now. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out a second Mutant Marauder deck now. Alright, so we're going to do a second one. Okay, guys, so I've thought about it a bunch, and this is finally what I've put together. There is another way to build a Mutant Chuggy deck, which would basically just be this. But I've recently played this, and there'll be a video, if it hasn't already come out, there'll be a video coming out soon with this deck. So we're going to try this. I think what we're going to do is double halve, and basically just play... We're going to end up being a bomber deck, but our early game is going to be like a Mutant Chuggy. I don't know if it's going to work, honestly. I think, as I was explaining in the first part of the video, I just don't think there's any other way to build Mutant Chuggy. Like, you are because of the way Nod works, because Nod doesn't have as many versatile units, and once you have Mutant and Chuggy locked in as 2 units in your deck, that's 2 slots eaten up. The remaining slots are... You don't have a lot of options with what you want to do with them. Like, you're kind of locked in. Now, one of the big issues of this deck is we have to open Rifles, and then we go Harvester. So if we get air rushed, we're in a lot of trouble, because we have to go into, like, Bikes after opening Rifles. So it's really important to scout and make sure you don't get rushed. And also our early game is really expensive. So I've gone double Rifle because I forgot that our plan was to go double Harvester. I did it instinctively. And now we're going to get a second half. I guess we can do the same thing he's done. Oh, he's gone Buggy. What an absolute nightmare. I actually think Rifles beat Buggy 2v1. Anyway, this will be a good chance to experiment with that. Pretty sure my Rifles win this fight. No, actually, looks like they get crushed. Alright, for some reason I remember Rifles beating Buggy 2v1 at some point, but they got destroyed. So maybe not. Maybe I imagined that. Anyway, we've got these beefy boys. These super beef boys early game to deal with these Buggies, so that's nice. And if we get map control, we can take his Harvester out as well. Oh, he's mutanting my Harvester. Alright, so we'll get a boosted Chuggy and go after his mutants. Looks like we're actually going to lose the halve here, which sucks. And we might lose the missile. No, we should win the missile at least. Yeah, we should be good for the missile at least, but we did lose the halve, which sucks. Okay, let's go harass his halve a bit. So the way to beat mutants with Chemical Buggy is this. You put a cloud down and then you run away. And then when they're moving, you go back in and get them. Like every time they try and move, you go back in and you get them with the Chuggy. Because the Chuggy has Raider and the mutants don't. Alright, we do have Phantom in the deck, right? So we're definitely going to go Phantom here. And then our answer to Tech is just going to be Phantom Inferno. Like, Phantom Inferno should deal with Tech, no problem. Hopefully. Hopefully, because now there's a bunch of Tech. So if it is a problem, we're dead. I'm pretty sure Inferno beats Widowmakers. Yeah, Inferno beats Widowmaker, no problem. Now there's... Oh no, now there's Cyborgs as well. Pretty sure Inferno beats Cyborg as well, to be honest with you. Alright, nice. So we're just going to Inferno spam. He hasn't shown us any air-to-air, so... Here's the Banshee, but we already know that. But he can't. Come on, block Inferno. Yes! Do you see, Optimus? Do you see? Alright, so a bit of a rough first game there. Already showing us a little sketch. Okay, gotta go Rifles first in case we're getting rushed. Although, really, it's probably not a problem from PDI. Like, what's he gonna do? Orca rush me? Omega lol. Imagine an Orca rush. Imagine Orca rushing someone. My god! Oh, dexterous! Oh no, what have you done? What have you done, my dude? Oh, it's all fell apart. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong for dexterous. Oh no, my dude, my dude. Oh, absolute nightmare. Alright, well, nice rush, man, nice rush. Let's get a chuggy for these shock boys. Oh, God. Good times, good times. Okie dokie. Win first missile. Feels good, man. Feels good. Gonna go and attack his base. Look how much damage I do to the base with this chuggy and rifles. It's kind of insane. Yeah, that's right. Dexterous. Not dexterous, but dexterous. Dexterious. Alright, we're gonna go Inferno here. This guy is pretty broke. We're gonna leave the rifles on the base. Rifles actually do amazing base damage. Like, it's insane how good structure damage rifles have. I think it's like almost the same as their infantry. It might in fact be the same as their infantry damage. So if you want to know what really has good base damage, it's this bad boy here. GG, my dude. He should die to the fire, I think. Actually, let's find out. Is it going to die to the fire? He surrenders. We're never going to know. What a letdown. Well, JJT should do well against. Alright, up against Purge Trooper. I know this guy. I recognize his name. No earthly idea what he's playing, but I recognize his name. He's playing Jade, which gives me a little bit of a read. Probably, he's gone Jade. He's playing Jade and he went Militant Opening, so he's probably playing Chem Warrior. I'm just gonna chill. I'm happy to stall, I think, because I want to go double half Inferno spam. I haven't seen him make a second half yet. If he makes a second half, then we'll think about charging, but for now I'm happy to stall because I want to go Inferno spam. Right, another rifle. I'm just gonna back up. Wait for the chuggy, I think. He looks very happy to stall, so I'm gonna start charging now. Like, I've never seen someone... I mean, this guy is extremely happy to be stalling, which is weird if he's not a double half player. Alright, so we'll clean up these rifles. Hopefully don't get punished by some tech switch. Like, if he switches into air here, we have no anti-air. And we got double half. Why, he's just doing nothing? Not even a second half? What's going on? Alright, I guess we'll make an Inferno. Is he just given up? I don't... Is he disconnected or something? I think he might have disconnected. Because I mean, he's just not doing anything, so... Alright, let's get everything on the base. Finish it off as quickly as we can. Unfortunate game there, guys. Didn't get to see much, but whatever. And wait for it. Winner! Mission accomplished. 3, 2, 1. New mission. Alright, here we go. We're up against Ramsey. See what Ramsey has. Nothing so far, so we'll go half. There's a rifleman. Don't care about your puny rifleman. My riflemen are jacked. My militants never skip leg day. This is what you do when your opponent tries to 2v1 you, by the way. You just walk away, and then you get your second unit in there. Now he's walking into my defense, so I win. Like, I'm going to win this 2v2 easily. There you see. So now I've got 2 rifles to his 1. I get to 2v1 him. I've now won the rifle. So I'm now up 1 rifleman. Like, I have 3 to his 2. Retarget down here. He now switches into bikes. Now, this is an interesting play from my opponent. I've seen people do this a lot. The solution in the rifle war to your opponent going bikes is to ignore the bikes and simply make more rifles. He's probably just going to try and kill my half. But guess what, bro? Rifles beat bikes 1v1. And I have these boosted mutants to defend my half. So, nice 60 tib you spent on bikes there, jabroni. Oh, Ramsey. Oh, Ramsey. What are you doing? Ramsey. I was gonna double half with this deck, but like, I'm winning this game so much, there's no reason to double half. Like, I can just make my 1/2 Infernos. I'm so far ahead. Ah, Ramsey. You jabronis. See you later, bikey boys. See you later. Gonna boost our Inferno because we want it reloaded for the next set of bikes. Watch this, I'm gonna kill his bikes with my rifles because they're damaged from the fire. Oh, Ramsey. So the reason to play the mutants in this deck is people are gonna spam bikes and pit bulls at you. When you make an Inferno, people are gonna be like, here's 1,000,000 bikes and pit bulls! And then you make mutants and kill them. And what the trick is to use your Inferno to defend your mutants. You see, you use the Inferno to kill the infantry, and then you use the mutants to kill the vehicles. That's the 500 IQ play. That's the 5-head play, my dude. You see that? Boom. Rifles down. Easy claps. You think you can run through fire, Ramsey? Come on, man. That's just like, what are you doing, Ramsey? Why are you sacrificing all your men? Oh, Ramsey. Alright. Here we go. Rifles first, up against Dr. Chicken. Okay, let's just take a moment, stop, and appreciate this name right here. Like, my god. I am insanely jealous. If I could change my name on Rivals to Chicken Hatching Emoji, Dr. Chicken, Chicken Hatched Emoji, I would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, I wouldn't now, obviously, because, you know, I've got a YouTube channel and stuff. But if I could go back in time and be, if I'd known you could use emotes, man. If only I'd known you could use emotes, that would have been the dream, the absolute dream. And I know that it might sound like I'm making fun of this guy, but I'm absolutely not. I am 100% sincere. I genuinely think this name is amazing, and I'm very jealous that he has it and I don't. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, legit, 100% serious, hand to heart. I wish I was called Chicken Emoji, Dr. Chicken, Chicken Emoji. His name is so good! So good. Such a good name. Actually jealous. Okay, back to the game. Back to the game, guys. I can't spend all my days wallowing in misery. Alright, so the game is looking pretty good so far. We've again gone 1/2 because we won the Rifle Wars by a lot. So I figured why bother making a second half. I'm going to bomb his Harvester here. We do need bikes to handle these Talons. Like earlier I was saying about how you use the mutants to protect you from things like pit bulls. You want to use the bikes to protect yourself from Talons until you can afford a Phantom, but honestly, like, the Phantom's not even that good. Well, what am I doing with my Inferno? Yeah, the Phantom's not even that good against Talons because they're so cheap and it takes too long to reload. How did that Pitbull survive? Chat? You're gonna have to watch the replay back, man. How did that Pitbull took like an Inferno bomb to the face and just kept on trucking? I'm so confused. What happened? What happened with the Inferno? Okay, so we do win the game. We're gonna watch the replay back and see what happened with that Inferno, because that was weird. That was super weird. Mammoth is saying I shot the rocket, dude. Okay, let's watch the replay. Let's watch the replay. I'm gonna leave this. I'm not even gonna edit this out. I want to see this. Yeah, wasn't it? Wasn't it this guy? No, it's this Pitbull. There's nothing else here. Look. Oh, what? It's a turret. Oh, it's a turret. The Pitbull did die, but there was a turret there as well. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I'm glad that we figured out what happened. Very weird to make the turret there, though, right? I mean, it was going to get bombed. Why would you do that? Okay, anyway, there it is, guys. This is a weird... I don't even know. This is kind of more a bomber deck. I think it's just worse than, like, doing this if you're going to play Infernos. But if you want to play a Mutant Chuggy deck, this is your classic. This is your best. There's a couple of variations. This might be slightly better in this metagame because there's so much air. But yeah, that's pretty much the only way to build a Mutant Chuggy. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the Mutant Chuggy Fiesta. I will see you all next time.